The next speaker is not new to this group either. I know it doesn't like people to use this word, but I'm gonna use it anyway. His name is Dr. Jorge Alba, or Dr. Jorge Alba. He's gonna be speaking about stormwater management model for the city of Sugar Land, I believe here in Texas.
Thank you very much.
Jorge Alba is a registered professional engineer with more than 30 years of experience. He has a BS in civil engineering, Master of Science in Water Resources Engineering from the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, and a PhD in geotechnical engineering from Georgia Institute of Tech. Currently, Dr. Alba is a senior engineering manager with the city of Sugar Land, the city, where he manages the city's drainage and flood control, capital improvement program projects, including the CIP program implementation, and he provides leadership and assistance to the development review process. Dr. Jorge Alba is also responsible for establishing and maintaining engineering design standards and specs for all public infrastructure improvements within the city limits, and ETJ and coordinate activity with various departments, outside agencies, D-list improvement district, and general public. Dr. Alba has participated in many high-profile national and international projects, performing a variety of engineering responsibilities during all project phases. He has managed several engineering teams and successfully performed project management for a variety of federal, state, municipal, and private clients. He has also been an adjunct professor of geotechnical engineering at the University of Houston, here in Texas. Again, as you did earlier, can you please unmute your mics and help me in giving another Texas side welcome to our one and only Dr. Alba. Please give him a big round of applause. Thank you all very much. You may now unmute your mics. Okay, Dr. Alba, the floor is completely yours. Please take it away.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Toastmasters. So I guess as part of my leadership development, I'm going to present tonight on planning and management, one of my actual technical projects that I have been managing for the city of Sugar Land for the last 4 years. And this project actually, and let me share my screen with you if you don't mind. This project is actually on preparing for the next step. In the case of the city of Sugar Land, is preparing for the next storm. So the integrated storm water management model, we call it iSwim, has nothing to do with swimming because that's what we don't want to be doing in the city of Sugar Land, but we want to be prepared for the next city. So this, let me give you a little bit of background on iSwim. Actually, we realized the necessity to have a high reliable way to determine ponding and flooding in the area of Sugar Land back in 2008. And the city upper management actually instructed the engineering department to come up with a computer model way to map accurately and high reliable way to determine ponding in the city. So we developed the first iSwim map back in 2008. What it did, it was a comprehensive geodatabase, so basically complete map of all the infrastructure of the city, especially the part of drainage and infrastructure that combine georeference, storm sewer infrastructure, all the most recent hydraulic models for the Brazos River and Oyster Creek, which Brazos River, if you live in the city of Sugar Land, border the city all the way to the south, and Oyster Creek border the city all the way to the north. So we combine all that drainage and stormwater infrastructure, and we create a georeference paper map, literally, that determined what was the 100-year ponding map for the city. And for all of you, when you think about the 100-year is not an event that happens every 100 years. 100 year is a probabilistic event that have a probability of 1/100, 1% of occurring in a given year. So we may have more than a 100-year event in the same year, sometimes even in the same month. So what happened in 2015, if you remember the tax day flood event, then we got we have the tax day event, Then we have the Memorial Weekend event in 2016. And then we got Hurricane Harvey in 2017. We actually in the city experienced three major events in 3 separate years, one after another. So we had to do studies and we have to determine what was the area that flooded the most and the area that has structural flooding and had structural ponding on the streets. And we developed new hydraulic models after the hurricanes. So now we needed to integrate those models and that new information with our iSwing maps. So we went into the iSwing phase 1 update in 2017, which in addition to all these newer hydraulic models, we also integrated the new topographic map that the Fort Bend County has provided to us with a 2014 LiDAR data. LiDAR data is a very accurate way to fly an area like with a drone or with an airplane and obtain very accurate, very high reliability topographic data. So with all that information, we create now this time not anymore a paper-based map, but actually a web-based model application that anybody in the city, especially in emergency management situations, we could access and determine areas where we were having ponding, where we have to go and close the streets, where we have to advise our residents that they were ponding area that they couldn't use. So it came 2019 and actually city manager allow us to install 28 new, I'm sorry, before I get there, 2017, at the end of 2017, we incorporated 2 new areas to the city of Sugar Land, New Territory and Red. So with that, our population increased from about 75,000 people to more than 125,000 people. So we were not a small city anymore. We became what is considered a mid-sized city. At that point, we created new hydrologic and hydraulic models to study these 2 areas of New Territory and Red. And also after Hurricane Harvey, the federal government came with what is called Atlas 14 or New Rainfall Data Information. And just to give you an idea, what we used to do before to design a stormwater system was what we call TP40. That was a methodology back from the 60s, updated in the 70s that we continue using at that time that was telling us that for the 100-year storm, we used 12.5 inches of rain. Well, Atlas 14 came and said that in this area in Fort Bend County, for the 100-year, 24 hours, now we have to use 16.5 inches of rain. That means that we got an increment of more than 25%, in some areas even 30% in the amount of rain that we have to deal with. So we went and created new models. We update our models with Atlas 14, but now we are not only looking at the 1% probability of the 100-year, but we are creating also a 2, 5, 10, 25, 50, and 500 years. What we have noticed is that in the city of Sugar Land and in Fort Bend County, the worst events for us in terms of ponding are the events what we call short duration, high intensity. Just to confirm everything that we have been seeing, on May 7, 2018, May 7, 2019, we have an event in the south part of town that affected especially Redwood, where we got 13.5 inches of rain in 6 hours. We got structural flooding, we got ponding all over the south part of town. But at the same time, in the north part of town, we were not seeing more than 4 or 5 inches of rain. So depending on where you were located in the city, you will see a complete different picture. So with this, we updated this information and we updated our web map, and we added for phase 3, 28 rain stream gauges and rainfall stations that we have all over the city. So with that information, what did allow us to create a real-time event map that will let us in the city and our residents to see in real time what is the situation on ponding all over the city. And on top of that, as I mentioned before, we added the short duration events for 1 hour, 2 hours, 4, 6, and 12 hours on top of the 24 hours that we had before. So with that, we created from 2008 to 2020 and 2021, we created a map that is a lot more comprehensive, that gives us more reliable information, actual real-time information that really help us in many ways. We have a central location for all our storm sewer models. We can evaluate our drainage infrastructure. We can plan and prioritize our drainage improvement projects. We can coordinate for hazard mitigation plans with the levee districts. We can plan evacuation routes, issue warnings and alarms for people that is connected to our system, either to text or to email. and we allow our residents, our staff to have access to that information in real time. So with that, I was going to show you the map, but I know I don't have any more time. So probably you want to stay at the end of the meeting and I can share with you our iSwing map for the city of Sugar Land. Thank you very much, Mr. Toastmaster. I pass it back to you.